I'm a 16-year-old VidEditor who has gained millions of views using these must-have tricks that I wish I had sooner. The biggest difference in the quality of my edits that I noticed is whenever I started entering the flow state. The flow state is basically where you just get really locked in and you're not really caring about what's around you. And the best way you enter the flow state is by eliminating all of the distractions around you. This can mean closing the window, making sure you have everything on your desk that you need before you start editing, or closing all those unnecessary tabs that's going to get you distracted. Using presets is also a great way to stay in the flow state. I have this effect that I do on the start of every video, and it's where I fade and blur out of the video. The way I made it a preset is I just clicked on the video, right-click the effect, and hit Save Preset. This way I can just drag and drop the effect on the clip so I don't have to make it from scratch every time I want to use the effect. It's going to allow you to save time and make it so your workflow doesn't get interrupted, because every little interruption can really add up. For the first few months, I would just click the razor tool and manually cut up my voiceovers. This is very time-consuming and tedious, so instead, I created shortcuts for my cut and delete, and this has really made my workflow smoother. Now, this is good for during the editing process, but I like to go ahead and get a head start and plan out my videos before I even start recording by making a script. I used to not ever make a script because I didn't ever think it was necessary. Even if you don't record voiceovers, it is still a good idea to plan out how you want your video to look. However, if you are somebody who does voiceovers, then there are so many benefits from writing out a script, such as you won't ever go off topic, you get a free copy and paste for your subtitles, and it limits how many mistakes you make when recording, which in turn limits the amount of time in the editing process. Staying on the topic of planning out your videos, you need to be making a projects folder before you even open up your editing software. This is going to have all of the files that you're going to need, your overlays, your sound effects, your music, etc. It is very important that you know where all of your files are at so your workflow doesn't get interrupted. And speaking of your files, you need to keep them organized. I used to just chunk all of my files in a random folder and go fishing for them whenever I needed them. However, I realized that this was adding 10 to 20 minutes of unnecessary time just because I was being lazy. I now keep all of my files in their own folder so I know exactly where they will be. Every few days, I kind of do inventory and make sure all of my files are organized and in the right spaces. And the last thing I have to say is that you need to apply all of these tips that I have said to get the best results. I promise if you take everything I said and put it into practice, you will instantly become a better video editor.